Hi guys, this is James. This is my 25th day of taking Fenben. So this is day 25. And how did you like my entrance? It looks nicer actually if you were over here and kind of walked towards the camera. So I'm learning all these new things about doing a YouTube. Anyway, I hope that was an impressive introduction this morning. Today's date is March 4th, 2020, and I am taking my 25th serving or dosage of Fenben. And today I'm going to start with a new packet. So it's a new packet, Panacur-C, and on the top it says package contains 3 4-gram packets. So later on I'm going to cut this box so I can show you what's inside the box. And it says each packet treats 40 pounds. So again, Panacur-C is not intended for human use. It was designed and was intended for canine use. However, we humans found a use for this, and it turned out to be very useful, and that is why I am one of the many humans who are trying Fenben. Doctors do not recommend you do it, so those of us who are taking Fenben, we are doing this on our own. Nobody's asking us to do it, and nobody's recommended us to do it. And that is the same for me. Nobody has asked me to do it, but I'm just gonna do it. And I have been doing it for 8 weeks already, and today is my 9th week. And after taking Fenben, I'll explain to you what I mean by 8th week and 9th week, and also day 24, day 25, things like that. Anyway, let me just do this first. Panacur-C, just gonna cut it up at the top. It does not have to be Panacur-C. It could be other brands. And also, let me see what are the other brands that are available. Safeguard is the other brand, well-known brand. And one of you actually asked me if other dewormers would work. And my research, and based on my reading and also watching other YouTubers, yes, it seems other types of dewormers do work, and one of those would be Praziquantel, and that's from what is it? Pet Armor, PETARMOR. So Pet Armor makes a dewormer that's based in Praziquantel. I don't even know if I said it right. Anyway, I'm going to have that spelling on my screen so you can look at it too. Anyway, it seems other YouTubers found Praziquantel to be just as effective, and of course you would have to experiment it yourself to find out. This box has 3 packets, and I'm going to put this down, and 3 packets. Each packet was intended for and is intended for a 40-pound dog, but for human consumption, it's people are finding out little by little that each packet you could take it for 4 days for each packet. So if you had a box of this, and in the box if you found 3 of these packets, you're good for about 4 weeks, because each packet has, you can use it for 4 days, which would be 1 week plus 1 extra day. And it's a bit of a complicated math, but I'll explain to you a little later. Anyway, this is 1 packet that I'm going to cut. Okay. And each packet contains 4 grams of Panacur-C, and each gram of Panacur-C contains 222 milligram of fenben. So the math gets a little bit more complicated. Anyway, I'm going to take my black spoon, as I usually do, and pour what I think is 1 gram. So this much I believe to be 1 gram. It could be a little bit more. Oh, I think I just spilled some of that. Hold on. So that's 1 gram. Actually, it's spread out a little bit, so it's a little more. Looks like. Anyway, about that much, 1 gram. Let me set this down and let me show you what I'm going to be mixing it with. I'm going to be mixing it with olive oil. It's from Trader Joe's, but obviously you can get it from a lot of other places. It's extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to mix it with fenben, just that. Okay, well, it's not mixing as well as I wanted to, so I'm just going to use my pinky just to mix it up a little bit. You can take it with water, but it's better to do it with oil, and you could use just about any other type of oil. It doesn't have to be olive oil. I find the taste of olive oil to be fairly pleasant, but you can also use sunflower seed oil and sesame oil, and some have even used coconut oil. So it could be any type of oil, edible oil in your home to mix with fenben, and that's it. So from this packet I should be able to get another 3 days or 3 dosages. Well, not that I spilled some, so maybe a little less. Anyway, whenever I'm done with my dosage, what I do is I just fold it up, and then it's usually good enough. It contains the powder fairly well, and as I've said, 4 grams per packet, and each gram only has 222 milligrams of fenben, so it's only 22% active ingredient. And later, once you start taking fenben, if and when you start taking fenben, you would want to know how much of a fenben you're actually taking, not just the Panacur-C or Safeguard or Pet Armor, but you know, in these drugs, there are fillers such as cornstarch that makes up a large percentage of the drug, and the actual active portion is a lot less. So in the case of Panacur-C, it's 22%. Actually, I just ran out of battery on my camera, so I'm going to switch out the battery and then come back to you in just a few seconds. Hi guys, so I'm back. I got my fresh battery in there, so I should be able to talk for a long time. Actually, today's session is going to be, the episode is going to be a bit longer than my usual length, because I have actually got my test results for the blood sampling and testing. So on February 1, 2020, I had done some blood sampling, and on March 1st, 2020, so 1 month later, I've done some additional testing, or I shouldn't say additional, another testing of my blood, and I've gotten some results, and I have some mixed results, so I would like to speak to you on that once I'm done with my diatribe or just aimless talking. Anyway, my apologies for not being as focused today. I think when it comes to taking fenben, and I suppose most of you who are watching my one-man show regarding fenben are doing so not because you have a lot of time on your hand, or your life is boring, but I believe you're doing it because you're looking for some type of information. Maybe you yourself are considering the use of Fenben, or somebody else needs your help in making a decision whether to take Fenben or not. And obviously, because I'm not a doctor and I don't have any medical background, so I am not in a position to make a recommendation to you, but I can, of course, tell you about my experience, what happened to me, how I felt, what side effects I had, what good results I've had, and what indications along the way, qualitative and quantitative, I have had using Fenben. And it's really hard for people considering Fenben at this point because we don't have enough information. Because sometimes when you are on a new journey, and if you don't know what's going to happen, I mean, if you do not know what to expect, that's scary. I mean, we have this is 2020, and we have coronavirus. It started out in Asia, and then it spread out, and now it's hitting Europe big time. And also we have seen, as of yesterday in the U.S., we have seen, I guess, 9 deaths that were related to or caused by coronavirus, and that's pretty scary. But when you think about it, the flu itself, every year in the U.S., over 10,000 people die from it, and just 9 people. Obviously, for those people, it's a tragedy. But when you look at the number, it's not a very big number, and so the fear in our mind is what's going to happen to the rest of us. If the coronavirus, COVID-19 hits us, what's going to happen? Is it going to turn into like the Spanish flu at the turn of the 20th century, where 50 million people died? Or is it just going to be a regular flu that we go through every winter? We don't really know, because it's the first time we are experiencing COVID-19, and we don't know if it's going to turn into a major disaster or it's just another type of flu. But I say that because that's where we are with the Fenben. With Fenben, we don't really know what happens to people when they take it. I mean, for patients, we have heard anecdotally that they have been cured of a lot of diseases, including cancer. And you have heard, most likely, that it has done some good for other people, for other conditions such as lupus, and then arthritis, nasal inflammation, even fungal nails. I mean, I myself experienced tremendous improvement to my nasal passage, or the nasal inflammation. My friend JJ, her fungal nail has been cured. I have been told by many other people, including some of you, the viewers of my episodes, telling me that they are doing much better because of Fenben. But in the end, you don't really know how it's going to affect you because there's just not enough data. There has not been enough testing done to tell you or even let you know what to expect. And I'm just one of the many people who are willingly being a guinea pig and want to test it out. I am in a relatively good health, and I feel like I can do something for you if you are considering Fenben and you are in dire straits, and if you are really scared, and if you really need some type of a solution, and if you have a hard time relying on the advice of your medical professional only, or if you have skepticism as to the advice that are given to you by the doctor or other people, and then you are looking for alternative ways, I guess Fenben is a one way for you to think about and consider And as I've said before, obviously I can't make any recommendations to anybody as far as their medical conditions are concerned, but I can tell you what happened to me, and so far, as I have documented it in my 23 other episodes, or covering 24 days, but 23 other episodes, that there had been some side effects, but there were some major benefits, and I am continuing with my experiment, and I am so far very happy with the results. The only side effect that I am suffering today and in the past few days had been headache. I still have a headache, but it's gotten milder. It's gotten milder. All the other side effects, including, let me go back and recount them. There had been discharges, nasal discharges. I had just runny nose that was just constantly coming out. It's gone. I don't have nasal passage, the runny nose anymore. I had night fevers, sweats, all gone. So no sweats, no fevers. Bloating, that was a major problem for a while. Gone. I don't have any bloating problems. What other problems did I have? The headache, it still is there, but it's a lot milder now. The sore throat, it's all but gone. I mean, I haven't experienced it this past week. It happened to me about 2 weeks ago, just one night, and before that, just a little bit towards the first, I guess, third week or the fourth week of my taking Fenben, but all but gone. Gas, that was a problem, but it was just uncomfortable. I mean, it wasn't something that was of a major health concern for me. I mean, it may have been a concern for people surrounding me or near me, but I was careful not to hurt them in any ways. Anyway, so those were some of the bad side effects. All gone except for the headache that just remains, but just very mild. I mean, it's not something that scares me. Anyway, I'm sorry. Today's session might turn into a long one, and maybe you might want to turn it off at some point. And but today I wanted to talk to you about my test results. So February 1, 2020 was my first test, and then March 1, 2020 was the second test. So February 1 test was after 4 weeks of taking Fenben. That's 12 days of Fenben. And then March 1 test was after 8 weeks of having taken Fenben. So that was after 2 months of taking Fenben, and that's after day 24. So each week is 3 days for me. So 3 days on, 4 days off. So each week is composed of 3 days. And for example, 2 weeks would give me 6 days. So if I say day 6, I actually took the Fenben in the second week, and it happens to be the last day of the second week. And that's how it goes. So it's a little bit complicated as far as the numbering and the days are concerned. But once you start taking Fenben, I think you would get the gist of it fairly easily and simply. Fairly easily. Anyway, let me get to the numbers. I apologize. It's getting long-winded. Cholesterol, I started at 205, and on March 1st, it was 230, so it was a little higher. HDL cholesterol, it was from 38 to 35, so it's gotten lower. Triglycerides, or otherwise known as TG, from 196 to 208. LDL cholesterol, 133 to 158. So all the cholesterol numbers actually have gotten worse. So the cholesterol total from 205 to 230, and then triglycerides, LDL, they all have gone up, and I am a bit more concerned than I was before that after having taken Fenben for another month, that these numbers have gotten worse, and the HDL cholesterol, it went down, and it wasn't supposed to go down actually. It should have really gone up, but from 38 to 35, it's also a bad indication. So all the cholesterol numbers are worse than before. I don't actually know if it's really Fenben that's doing it or causing it, but I thought it's important enough to just kind of let you know that the cholesterols have gone up or have gotten worse. One good news, or slightly, just a little bit, is glucose went down from 142 to 139. But my friend Surya from Germany has indicated that the glucose and the Fenben really should not have any bearing on one another, or I should say Fenben should not have any influence or bearing on the results of glucose count. So maybe it's just a normal difference. I mean, not a whole lot of difference, right? Anyway, 142 to 139, very small. And the A17 number, which was the number that I was more interested in, it hasn't changed a whole lot. It was 7.6 before, and now it's 7.7. Not a whole lot of change. So glucose count and then A1C number, they seem to be about the same. It really hasn't changed a whole lot. However, the one number that I was also interested in was AST and ALT. So these two numbers I was interested in. So they give an indication as to how your liver is doing. And from the very beginning of taking Fenben, my I guess the biggest concern had been liver, because I was told, and my research indicated, that about the only permanent damage that I would have to worry about with taking Fenben for an extended period of time would be the liver. Because there could be some toxicity involved, and there could be a permanent damage to the liver caused by Fenben, and I was taking only 222 milligrams each time, so it's not a very high dosage. And if you were, for example, suffering from a cancer, and I have seen other people taking higher dosage, such as 500 milligram, and not 222 milligram that I was taking. But at 220 milligram myself, I was still concerned about the liver, and I didn't want to damage my liver. And that's why I was looking at these numbers. AST and ALT, they give indication as to how your liver is doing. And ALT number apparently is more important than AST. Nevertheless, my AST number was at 52 before, which was high, which indicated that I had some problems with it. My latest test, March 1st test, tells me the number is down to 29. It's in the normal range. So I am doing fantastic as far as the AST number is concerned, because the normal range is 10 to 35 U/L. And my number 29 falls within the normal range. So as far as AST number is concerned, hey, I am doing good. I have improved tremendously, actually. ALT, it has gotten worse from 75 to 81. It was 75 before, and it jumped to 81. The normal range is 9 to 46. So I'm actually elated with this result, because my liver is doing better. Anyway, 1 out of 2 indicators tell me that I'm okay. For the liver, the only thing different that I've done, aside from taking Fenben, is taking this LiverCare, Live 52 or LiverCare. So I've been taking this for, I guess, about a month. And I actually do not know, honestly, if this LiverCare was the reason for the reduction in the AST number. But I mean, this is the only thing I've done for my liver. And if taking this, and then after having taken this for about a month, and if the number goes down to a normal range, I have to say this is doing something, something good, most likely. Let me go ahead and take it. Actually, I'm gonna take this with plain water. So numbers are doing good as far as the liver, or number is doing better as far as the liver is concerned. Everything else, the diabetic numbers, the glucose and A1C seem to be about the same. It really hasn't changed a whole lot. Cholesterol went up a lot higher. I don't really know what caused it. I don't really think it's fenben, but then again, what could it be? Could it have been stress? I'm not sure. I was under a lot of stress for the past few weeks at my job. You know, I've had some very difficult things that I had to do. So maybe the stress caused some of it. I'm not sure. I actually stopped drinking alcohol for about 2 weeks prior to taking the blood sampling or blood test. I don't know if you don't drink, does it help with the numbers somehow? Can't really tell. Anyway, yeah, those are the numbers. Maybe somebody smarter than me who's watching this video could comment on it, which I would certainly appreciate, and you know, maybe we can all share together. Anyway, thanks for watching the video today, and I do wish you well, and whatever decision you make, I hope you make a good decision for yourself, and that I really do hope that if you have some type of an ailment and disease, that you get better. I hope so. You know, my heart is for you. I want you to do well, and take care.